right, everybody. Welcome back to MAPOP Sports. This is Grandy. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for checking out the channel, checking out this video. If you guys are returning, welcome back, guys. Hopefully everybody's having a good week so far. I'm just kind of going through the motions, working my butt off, and trying to get my listings on my eBay store up. And packaging and shipping everything. There was quite a big order that I had to ship over the weekend, and obviously with my Whatnot show. So Mondays are super busy in regards to packaging and shipping. So there you guys go. Other than that, let's jump into it, guys. So it's 2025. I think I did a video about this last year, early in the year. Breaking in sports cards. My thoughts, my feelings, my stance. Is it here? Is it going to go away? Is it good or bad? So let's start with this. It's not going anywhere, guys. So pricing on breaking, let's start here. Let me start over. If you don't know what breaking is, if you're new to the hobby, or you're just wondering, or you're just jumping back into the hobby, many odd years ago, you just buy boxes and open them up. Nowadays, they have breaking spots where you can purchase spots, teams, instead of just buying the actual wax or the boxes itself and opening them up. So, kind of give you guys an idea. Let's just say, like the NBA, there's 30 teams. NFL, there's 32 teams. So a breaker, what they would normally do is have boxes of, whether it's retail, hobby boxes. Let's just say they have 10 boxes they're going to open up. You purchase a team, a spot on that team, and when they open up the box, whatever cards of that team goes to you. That's the most simple way to explain breaking. So you purchase a spot, could be pick your team or random, whatever however the breaker's setting it up. Once they open up the box, you only get those specific cards. Benefits of it, obviously, is you don't have a bunch of wasted cards that you weren't looking for if you're looking for a specific team. On top of that, it's cheaper overall, I guess, kinda. Who knows, right? Especially right now with the pricing of stuff, I wouldn't say it's that much cheaper, but supposedly it is somewhat cheaper than actually buying a box and opening it up. Plus, you have multiple boxes you open versus just one or two boxes. So if you buy into a break, they may open 10, 20 boxes, whatever, versus you buying maybe two boxes yourself, the cost, and then getting whatever. So there you guys go. It's simple explanation of breaking, okay? Now, as I said, it's not going anywhere, whether you like it or not. That's not the point of this video or the point of anything. Whether you like it or not, it is not going anywhere. It's actually going to be growing, guys. If you don't know, I feel like breaking is going to be expanding and growing, whether we like it or not. Whether you think it's good for the hobby, bad for the hobby, it doesn't really matter. It's going to keep growing. And why I say that? Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to go away. Breaking is too expensive. It's too crazy. People aren't going to be buying. Yes, they are. And the reason I say that is because we as humans like gambling. I'm sorry. A majority of us love gambling. They love the chances of buying something, opening something, and getting something in return of higher value. That is what breaking is. We're hoping, put in some money. Hopefully we open up, or the breaker opens up the box and we get a higher valued card of anything than what we paid for, okay? So that's why I feel like it's not going to go anywhere. And I say that because look at sports gambling in general. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Once all these states are legalizing gambling, look at the floodgates it has opened, okay? Every channel, every show, anything you look at, you see nothing but you hear commercials about gambling, sports gambling. It's insane, right? Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. It's here to stay. It's already open. You open Pandora's box. So that's why I feel like breaking will not go anywhere, and it's actually going to increase, I feel like, okay? Now, is it good? Is it bad for the hobby? My thoughts, this is my stance. I don't really care. I have no say in it because I no longer break, and I no longer purchase breaks. I don't do it at all. It's not for me. I don't get any enjoyment out of it, whether I break for people or whether I join a break. So if there's no enjoyment, I'm not going to partake in it, right? However, I have lots of friends and family who's been asking me these questions over and over and over, who partake in it, who love the gambling aspect of it, and they enjoy it. And it's a free country. They can do what they want. And Do I think it's bad or good for the hobby? It doesn't affect me because I don't really do anything with it. Yes, it does affect the demand and the pricing of the boxes, of course, because a lot of these guys, breakers, they buy up all the retail. So it's hard for people to purchase retail boxes, right? All the hobby boxes they have, and this is the simple business fact. When there's a high demand, breakers, there's a high demand, pricing of the supply is going to be high. Okay, it's as simple as that. Supply is down because people are buying all this stuff up. Breakers are trying to sell their spots, whether on live auction and whatever the case it is. And there you go. So it's going to be a high demand. So is it good? I mean, in a sense, it provides a service for what a need. Is it bad for the hobby? Honest to God, the only negative thing that I could see of breaking is it does increase the price of the wax for people to buy individualized boxes to open. It's still gambling. Even if you buy those individual boxes to open, I hate it when people are like, breaking is pure gambling, it's horrible, and yet the person collects cards and opens boxes. It's super hypocritical in my eyes. But no here nor there. I'm not going to judge anybody. You do what you want, free country. As I said, I worry about myself, my family, my own life. I don't need to judge or care what anybody else does on that end. So there you guys go. Now, this is the thing about, breaking in sports cards. 20, 30 years ago, there were breakers. It wasn't very big. It wasn't huge. Most of the breaks would happen at local card shops, through friends, family, whatever, just small gatherings. You buy boxes, you break it up, and then you split the cards evenly or however you would do it, right? And you go to a local shop, you would do their breaks, whatever. Now, the convenience of it and the speed of it is making it so easy for people to join breaks, and in reality, it's going to grow it exponentially. There was no such thing as TikTok 20 years ago. There's no such thing as Whatnot. There's no such thing as YouTube. No such thing as Facebook, Instagram to do all these breaks. Now you can do these. You can literally go into your phone, open up an app, and literally join a break in 30 seconds or less. So you used to not be able to do that. So that's why I feel like it's just going to be a rolling effect and keep on growing, because people it's just a convenience and the accessibility of it. If it's easily accessible, people are going to do it. So that's why hugely I feel like it's going to be growing. Now, the bad side, yes, gambling can be bad, just like anything else in life. An addiction. I've seen it. I see people who gamble, not just on sports cards. I'm just talking about pure gambling, casinos, whatever, sports gambling. I've seen how it tears up families. I've seen the negative sides of addiction. I mean, just to get the rush, right? That's what it is. And sports card, opening boxes, breaking, it's the same concept. It's that rush that you're hopefully going to get something big. 99.9999% of the time, we don't get shit. You get nothing. Same thing with casinos. The same thing with gambling in general. 90 some odd percent of the time, you end up losing more than you win. Yes, you do win. And definitely it happens, but people get so addicted to it. And that's the negative side, the downside. But as I said, we live in a free country and you're at will, and self-control and moderation is key. Just like in anything, whether it's food, alcohol, gambling, anything, even breaking sports card, you have to moderate yourself and limit yourself and find that, is this no longer entertaining? And, is it honestly, it's just hopefully you can grab, some type of a card. Is the juice. People want that juice, and it can lead to down a bad hole. I've heard horror stories of families breaking up due to breaking sports cards. So like I just said, it's one of those things you got to be real careful. And I just feel that that's the negative side of it, obviously, in regards to that. Now, also a good thing is that you have to understand it is good for the hobby because it provides inventory, supply, okay? I want to say a good 50% of my inventory to actually 60% comes from breakers. I actually have several breakers who break all the time, and they have cards that they don't no longer want. They want, they're looking to move it to me at a bulk lot at a decent deal. Hey, I'll take it. They can use that money and go buy into another break, and I get to use that, and I can list it on my eBay store, put on my Whatnot show, or take it to sports car shows. So it does provide supply, it does provide inventory. So that's a good side of it. I'd be curious to know how much inventory actually comes from breaking. There's no way to track it, but I'd just be curious to know that for sure. And then on top of that, it's one of those things where I feel like it's just an enjoy. People enjoy breaking, whether they break or whether they jump into a break. So it's just the enjoyment factor and entertainment factor. People enjoy it. Like I say, they are providing a service, I guess you could say. Another thing about breaking is the pricing is gone astronomically high. Obviously, you look at all the hobby boxes, even the retail boxes, when people are buying into breaks, it's a lot higher than it was 20 years ago. And that's just there's many factors. Obviously, supply, because the demand is so high, low supply, price is going to go higher. Inflation. Simple as that, guys. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's just the nature of the beast. If you don't like it, don't partake. I don't. You can do it. You can be in this hobby. You can collect cards. You don't have to judge people. If you don't like breaks, don't partake in it. Go buy your box score, or go buy your single cards. You do what you want. Don't worry about other people so much. That's the one thing I always tell people, they're like, oh, it's horrible for the hobby, it's bad. I go, why do you care? If you don't do it, you don't partake in it, don't even worry about it. You do you. Do you. Don't worry about anybody else. That's my tip I give to my buddies or my friends who talk negatively about it, which it happens. I tell them, dude, don't even worry about it so much. You're so worried about it over here, you're just wasting your energy. Go do you. Go collect your card that you want. Simple as that. Or open up a box if you want. You do you. That's what I always say on that end. Another thing is, a lot of people, and you hear the horror stories, there's 2025 now. There's a lot of thieves. There's a lot of people, breakers who steal cards or don't ship cards. You hear the horror stories all the time. I highly recommend, if you're going to be in breaking, do it with somebody you trust, or breakers you do trust. Now, that's not going to go away, guys. Criminals, people looking to, walk that fine line, cross that line, whether to steal, whether to not ship your card, keep your card, whatever, that's not going to change. Sadly to say, it's a very low percentage, though, at least, thank goodness. It's a very low percentage, but it happens more than it should, obviously. That won't change. My only suggestion, advice, is to make sure you break and with somebody you trust. Better to do it in-person breaks than obviously online, but convenience is key, accessibility is key. So I just highly recommend just be really careful who you use and who you trust on that. Just reputable breaker is always ideal, obviously. And then where can you break? Obviously, I mentioned all of them. TikTok, YouTube, eBay, Facebook, Instagram, Whatnot. All these have live auctions and breaks, and even you can join in whenever you can. So up to you. Like I said, moderation, guys. Know your limits. That's my biggest thing that I tell anybody. The only other thing that I would say is a little worrisome is there is no regulation. So you look at sports gambling, there's tons of regulations. You have to be a specific age. They check your ID. All this stuff. Accessibility on that. They try to limit to anybody over 21, obviously, right? There is no age limit or requirements for opening packs or opening boxes. Now, will they ever do that? Who knows? It's just very hard to regulate. Sports card breaking, I don't know how you can regulate it. They may tax it. I can see taxes, some types of taxation coming on top of it. One day I could see that happening. But in regards to regulating the age, it's tough. I hate to see an 8-9-year-old kid buy into a break, or their parents buy into a break, they pull something huge, sell that card, and then go buy into that break again for $1,000 or whatever the case may be, and end up pulling a $50 card, and they cry and they sad and they get a bad taste in their mouth. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. My only thing is that, I wish parents, it's sadly, it's tough. I get it. Would, obviously educate the kids and just show them that this is fun, but you gotta stay within your limits, all that stuff. And just be really, really cognizant that it does lead to, gambling. It could lead to an addiction for the kids, and we don't want to see that happen, obviously, but there's a possibility, and that's the thing. Who knows? I'm not going to be anybody's moral high ground, tell you how to raise your kid or what to do. But I do see it, and that's the only other worrisome, I guess you can see. As you guys can see, I break with my daughters. We do it out of fun. We don't do any crazy breaks or anything like that. I break $20, $30 box here with my daughters here and there, and we pull something great. If we don't, it's not that big of a deal. We just make it fun. That's all it is. You make it fun, and they'll keep coming back. I feel that's the best part. But other than that, like I said, there is no regulations or anything. Will there ever be? Who knows? It'll be very difficult. The only thing I can see that they can regulate maybe taxing it and all that stuff. So we'll see on down the road on that. So there you go, 2025. That's my thoughts. Breaking's not going anywhere, guys. It's going to be here, and it's going to keep growing. You can see Fanatics, Tops, they're jumping into the game. You see more and more breakers all day, every day. It's 24 hours. This is the thing. This thing makes breaking available to you 24 hours a day. It's kind of scary, but it is what it is. So it's available, accessibility. Who knows? Like I said, it's going to keep on growing. It's not going to go anywhere, whether you like it or not. Good or bad for the hobby, I still think that remains to be seen. The reason being is because there's pros and cons in anything you do in life. So I feel like, to me, doesn't really bug me, doesn't affect me as much. It provides me a little bit of inventory here and there, but I don't partake in it, so I really don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't bug me, doesn't bother me any which way. But like I said, my only advice to people who are looking to break or, in 2025, just be careful, know your limits, moderation, and have fun with it. At the end of the day, it should be fun. It should be a fun hobby. It should be a fun industry. You shouldn't be overspending on breaks and losing your mortgage or your rent money. Please don't do that, guys. I don't want to hear about anybody doing that, so please don't. So other than that, my thoughts on breaking, let me know. I'm curious what you guys think. There is no right or wrong, I feel like. Let me know what your stance are. I know a lot of people think it's negative, but I just want to know what you guys are thinking. And don't just say it's bad for the hobby. I want to know why. Why do you think it's bad for the hobby, if it is, or if it's good for the hobby? You guys let me know. At the end of the day, it is gambling. I don't care what anybody else says. It's gambling, pure and simple. But let me know what you guys think. I'm just curious to know. Other than that, you guys like this stuff, feel free to subscribe if you have not subscribed. All good, guys. Appreciate you guys watching me babble. Holy crap, you guys listen to me babble about breaking for several minutes here. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, about 50% of you guys watch my video who haven't subscribed, so it's all good, man. Still appreciate you guys. Don't forget, follow me, my whatnot, links in the description. I'll probably do a show this coming weekend. I have an in-person card show in Denver area in about a week and a half, so I'll be there. So let me know if you guys are in the area. And then don't forget, check out the eBay store. I'm listing hundreds and hundreds of cards daily. Feel free to make any offer on any cards there. I'll try to respond to you guys as soon as possible on that. So other than that, man, I super appreciate you guys. Till next time, have a good rest of the week, guys.